Hi, we're back. And it's about 3.5 hours later. The pot roast is done, but we're going to make our gravy to go into the pan gravy because we want ours a little bit thicker. So you want 1 cup of water to 1 package. We're going to add a little bit so we can whisk it and get it started so it's not going to be lumpy because we don't like lumpy gravy. And even if you do have lumpy gravy, you could strain it. It's no big deal. This is just a package of brown gravy. And we're going to get it started. That looks pretty good. So we're just going to leave it here for now. We're going to take everything out of the pan. Now the meat shrunk a little bit, which it sometimes does. This was about 3 pounds of meat, so it did take slightly longer, but you could always check your pot roast as you're cooking. A smaller piece, of course, will take less time. Thank you, my daughter. Okay, you can put it down. I'm just gonna scooch it over a little bit. I'm gonna shut the gas off. Now we're gonna get a knife and we're gonna see how tender that is. It smells really good. Oh yeah, that's tender. Look at how nice that cut. Oops, got a bay leaf under there. Look at how nice that cut. Right through. All that garlic and all those seasonings. Just smells fantastic. Yeah, we'll leave the bay leaf there. And we're going to let it sit for a little bit before we cut it all the way through. Take out all the vegetables. And they're fork tender. Well, knife tender, we'll show you. That's how nice and easily they slide through. Everything's done. The carrots, the potatoes. Get this thing out of here. Maybe it might be a little easier to get the veggies out. Get some of them out first. So, in the time it takes you to sit on the computer for a few hours or watch TV, you can have a meal. And you don't have to babysit this or anything. It actually just kind of cooks itself. You just have to watch so the liquid doesn't reduce down too far. If it does reduce, you could add a little more broth. You could add water, maybe a cup of water. I did have to add a cup of water earlier. And it doesn't really take away from your seasonings or anything like that, your flavoring. Okay, now we can get this thing out. Put it in the lid. Alright, there we go. That's better. It's a little easier. These other little potatoes, we left those whole. Because some of them were small enough to leave whole. And if you do have any leftovers, you can make soup. Could add like a can of peas if you like peas in your soup, or beans. Just gonna need a couple cans of broth. You cut the larger potatoes up into smaller pieces. This makes a nice soup. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the gas on to get this boiling. Not too high, just enough to get it going. And then we're going to add the gravy over there. Because we want it to thicken up. Just enough. The other bay leaf. kind of high. Scoot that over. This is already hot. This takes about 5 minutes or so. Oh, there's the other bay leaf. It gets all those little hits. Little side. Couldn't get any easier. Oh, maybe takeout's easier. Or delivery. Delivery's easier. You just have to, hello, can we have pot roast in it? Homemade tastes better though. Homemade tastes better. You can adjust the seasonings, like if you want more garlic, more rosemary, or less, or don't add it at all. That's fine too. You can adjust your seasonings. Raise the heat a little bit more. Oop, not that high. You hear it clicking. So in the meantime, while that's cooking, I'm going to get a dish and try it. Pork. Now with a little potato and a little carrot. It's like fork. You could like pull it apart with the fork. Look at that. That's how tender it is. You just pull it apart with the fork. Alright, we're going there now. It's going, no, of course it's going to boil now. I want to eat this stuff. That's okay. That came out really good, guys. Okay, now we're going. Gravy smells good with that Worcestershire sauce in there. It only takes 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. That's all you need for nice flavor. But if you want to keep on whisking it gently so it doesn't get lumpy once it gets started. And then you get some nice potato rolls or Italian bread. You got a real good meal. And if you have leftovers, you could freeze them, which is nice. Put them in your little freezer containers. Put a date down there. Put, you know, what it says with one of them little sticky labels. Okay, now what I do is I want to put all my vegetables back in because I want them all coated. And then I'm going to cut my pot roast into some pieces there. So that'll pick up all the nice juices and stuff, and it'll stay really tender. And then we will have dinner. Now this gravy is pretty at where I want it to be. It's not real thick, and it's not thin. I'll kind of show you. Because if you like mashed potatoes, you could eliminate those potatoes and just make mashed potatoes. It's a nice consistency. And if you like it thicker, of course you can cook it a little bit longer. Nothing like mashed potatoes and gravy. Okay, we're going to add everything back in. Take a little at a time so we don't lose any, because the cat's hanging around, the dog is hanging around. It's like the wild kingdom in here. They smell the food and they all want it. Gotta lower the heat now, because we don't want anything to boil over. And we just want it very low, like that. That's good enough to heat everything through again. I hope you guys will try this. It does take a while, but it's well worth it. Just like Mom's Sunday dinner. When people used to take time and sit around the table and talk and linger, instead of playing with their electronics. Although in my house, no texting at the table, no phone at the table, no electronics, just us. Carrots, good for your eyes. A lot of vitamin K in carrots. A lot of vitamin A and K. Carotene, good for you. Onions are good for you. A lot of antioxidants in onions and garlic. Make some room in the middle for the meat. Get this cut. Get that off. We don't want that. That's a little bit of fat. This was a very nice lean piece of meat. And you could always buy a couple pieces, put some in your freezer. Wrap it up in, plastic wrap, stick them in food storage bags, and then you have it. When they're on sale, buy them. That's what I do. Oh, that came apart, no problem. Very nice. I'm very pleased. Okay, let's get this fatty part out. Put that on my dish. Pour the rest of this in, because we want all that good stuff. Okay. We're going to baste it a little bit, and that's what you can do too throughout the cooking process. Open the lid, pour a little gravy on top so it stays moist. Other than that, it really cooks itself. Okay. There we go, guys. Sunday dinner pot roast on Thursday. We're going to put the lid back on and let it heat through, and then we have our supper for later. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time on To Taste. Life is good. Bye.